I don't even remember what I made the title, bro. What does it say? What does it say? Sixers lost to the Heat without Jimmy Butler? It says the sky is falling. It's all part of the business, my friends. I know how to get people to come here. Look at the views, bro. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. What is going on, my beautiful people? Sixers, sickos, 130 people in here right now. Give me 130 likes on the stream. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in after every single Sixers game. You guys, I just want to let you know, are the real ones. The real non-frauds. The real Sixers sickos are in here when the Sixers lose. When the Sixers win, when the Sixers win, dude, we got 800 people in the stream. Sixers lose, people are like, this, I'm going to bed. I don't want to hear shit that Eastwood has to say. So shout out to you 133 people in here. Close out the chat one time. Hit the like button. That's how we get more and more viewers in here. You hit the like and the stream gets shown to more people on YouTube. Okay? Thank you. Now let's get down to business. I'm a little bit late coming up here because I'm not going to lie to you. My cat ran outside, and it's freezing cold out, so it was like 9:55. I'm trying to get up here to start the show. My cat's outside. My dog won't let the cat back inside because when the cat comes back in, my dog likes to attack the cat for fun. So then the cat's outside, but she won't come in because the dog's right. We made it. We're here. All right, man. The Philadelphia 76ers lose 109-104 to the Miami Heat, who, yes, we're down Jimmy Butler. The Heat haven't been a great team this season. I feel like Jimmy Butler's doing what he always does, where he just kind of sits around the whole season, kind of plays like 35 games. It's probably more than that, but it's definitely more than that. But, last year it felt like he just sat kind of here and there. He played whenever he wanted, and then in the playoffs he turned up. That's probably what his plan is this season. But no, he's missing the game because he has something that happened in the family. So, I don't want to downplay that by any means. Thoughts and prayers to Jimmy Butler and the family and everything like that. But the Sixers are playing the Heat, who haven't been great without Jimmy Butler. But the Sixers, of course, are without Joel Embiid. And the big issue reared its ugly head in this game when it mattered the most, and that is the absence of Joel Embiid and the lack of size at the center position. And it really bit us in the ass in the clutch in this game. Two off the top of my head, just ridiculous offensive rebounds for the Miami Heat when we were trying to make a push at the end of the game. The Jaime Jaquez put back dunk because Tyrese Maxey didn't box out, or Tyrese Maxey helped box out Bam Adebayo with KJ Martin and left Jaquez just a wide open lane to the rim to put back a rebound. And then KJ looks at Maxey and says, what the dude? I was boxing him out. You're supposed to go over there. So miscommunication on that offensive board. One that probably doesn't happen with Joel Embiid down there. And then the one at the end where the Sixers cut it to what? 2. They force a tough shot from was it Duncan Robinson on the left side? No, that was a Jaquez putback. It was Haysmith on the left side off the rim. Sixers just can't get a rebound in crunch time. Just straight lack of size. Bam Adebayo reaches right over top of KJ Martin over his left shoulder. I saw someone in the Discord saying it was an over the back foul. I mean, are they really going to call that right there on such minimal contact? Probably not. They probably would have called it marginal contact anyway. But Bam Adebayo gets a offensive rebound right there to pretty much put the game away. So that's what happened in this game. Look, the Sixers fight and claw again. You know, ever since the Buddy Hield trade, they have been competitive. They lost to the Hawks right after the Buddy Hield trade. Then they won 2 tough ones in a row, and then they lose this one to Miami. Still fighting, clawing. Buddy Hield looks good. Looks like it's a great trade. I'm still sitting here imagining him and Tyrese Maxey with the gravity of Joel Embiid at the center position. Buddy started the game hot. Started the game cooking right off the bat. 2 threes in the first quarter. The guy, has just been on fire since he came here. The real story of what happened, I guess, in the grand scheme of things in this game was Eric Spoelstra outcoached Nick Nurse, and Nick Nurse adjusted, but he just didn't have the personnel really to have an adjustment that I feel like could be effective. So Buddy Hield cooking in the first half, Tyrese Maxey cooking in the first half. Eric Spoelstra goes to a 3-2 zone, and I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Eric Spoelstra, I don't know. He coaches the best zone defense I've probably ever seen. It doesn't matter who the players are. It doesn't matter what their athletic level is. It doesn't matter if it's 5 dudes built like Tyler Hero out there. They're just going to play good zone defense. And it's been the kryptonite for the Sixers against the Miami Heat for years now. And why not? Why not in this game where, the Sixers are favored by 3.5? We're looking like it's a game we can definitely win. Eric Spoelstra switches to a zone, completely takes Buddy Hield out of the game. I think Maxey struggled to score in the fourth quarter also with the zone. And, I said Nick Nurse called a timeout when the Heat went up 5 or 7 down there in the second half of the fourth quarter. And I said, at least we don't have Doc. We have a coach that can also adjust. Eric Spoelstra is a coach that adjusts clearly. Clearly, second half, he adjusts. They're running a 3-2 zone. They're doubling Buddy Hield. They're not leaving him one-on-one on Duncan Robinson or whoever else. And they're forcing other players to beat you. And I just think the Sixers didn't have the personnel to do it. I will say this. Ricky Council was having a great game. And Ricky Council, in that third quarter, was breaking the zone. And Ricky Council was a big reason for their scoring. There was a couple of times where, they were flashing out at Maxey, doubling him, doubling Hield. There was a couple of times where you were like, okay, if they're going to play this type of defense outside the three-point line, somebody has to step up and make them pay. A couple of times it was Ricky Council who stepped up and made them pay. And then in the end of the game, in crunch time, Ricky Council's on the bench and KJ Martin finishes the game. And I'm not going to go all, like I was doing to Doc Rivers for 3 years because this is new. And I believe so much more in Nick Nurse than Doc Rivers. But the decision to not have Ricky Council in the game at the end when you were struggling to score, when you were struggling to have somebody create in the margins and break the zone, you left KJ Martin finish the game. I mean, you left the guy with no offensive game whatsoever finish the game there. And KJ broke the zone too, a minute left in the game. The Sixers didn't break that zone, I feel like, the whole fourth quarter. Until 1 minute left in the game, we finally get KJ Martin at the free throw line. Maxey or Buddy or somebody gets it to him. He takes one dribble and he throws it down to Paul Reed, who gets an and one finish. And I'm like, it took us to damn 1 minute left in the game to break the zone and score a point against this 3-2 defense. But I saw Ricky Council do it a couple times in the third quarter, and I definitely would have preferred Ricky Council be in there over KJ Martin in that specific situation, because Ricky Council has just flat out more of an offensive game than KJ Martin. He can create a shot. He can power dribble under the rim. He can go right. He can go left. But it was Nick Nurse's decision to leave KJ Martin in there in the finishing lineup and leave Ricky Council on the bench. He's a rookie, but I just think I think Ricky Council has proved himself right now, and there's no reason really for him to be treated like a rookie or anything like that. I feel like Ricky Council should be treated like a NBA rotational player, and I would have had him. I would have had him in that finishing lineup. Shaba, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate that. I'm not sure if you were trying to leave a comment right there. It says this is the first super on the live stream, so thanks for your first ever super chat on the channel. If you were trying to make a comment right there when you click on super chat, you just type right above it before you hit send. Mr. Rudy, my guy, we want to beat the 76ers. 2-3 zone makes Maxey think he needs to drive through a crowd. You need to swing, shoot the three to get them out of the zone. Yeah, but they were doing a really good job. The Heat were doing a really good job of rotating and flying out to shooters. You know, we had three guards out there. You know what I mean? Somebody in the Discord too said a 3-guard lineup was annoying, but that was part of the strategy to try to break the zone. You need shooters on the floor, spread the floor and shoot. I feel like we were driving and kicking, or we were swinging the ball, and they were just really quick at getting back out to the shooters. And I credit Miami for their zone defense in the fourth quarter of this game. The 76ers absolutely struggled to score against that zone. We swung the ball. It just felt like the shots weren't open. Buddy got a good look down there late. One dribble to his left, top of the key, just left it short. And that's really what happened. And the Sixers, at the end of the day, they struggled against the zone, and they still hung in there. They still made it a game, and then they gave up a couple of massive offensive rebounds at the end that really, really put us away. Let me look at just my notes in this game, and then I'll just chill and read the chat. Just a real chill, laid-back one tonight, man. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go to the Discord call-ins. I just want to chill and read the chat tonight. Thank you all that consistently call in and contribute to the show. I got a little sinus thing going on. I can't really breathe out of my nose, but yeah, I'm just going to chill and read the chat and hang out with you guys for a couple minutes to talk more about the game. So be sure to be dropping your comments out here. There you go, Shaba. You hit the nail on the head, bro. Council over KJ. Yeah, I would have had him out there, man. I would have had him out there. I really, really, really like Ricky Council's game. And that's not a shot at KJ at all, because KJ Martin in this game was great. First quarter, 5 straight points from KJ Martin. The guy hits a contested 3 in the corner, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I've been talking trash about this guy for weeks. I've been saying he has no game at all, and he's bad at basketball. And he is. He's very athletic. He just needs to be put in the right positions and used correctly. He needs to be comfortable on the floor. He needs to know what he can do and what he can't do. When you get Ricky Council into situations, or when you get KJ Martin into situations where he's dribbling the ball and trying to create, that's where he's going to start to look like, Matisse Thybulle or somebody that shouldn't be dribbling the ball. But KJ Martin, super athletic, and if he can make a game once in a while, or make a 3 once in a while, he can be effective, and he was doing that, in this game. He hits a contested three from the corner in the first quarter, and I'm like, wow, KJ Martin just made a contested three in the corner. That's crazy. And then the Maxey drive, throws the oop to KJ. He slams it. It's beautiful. It's so nice when you see a high-flying play like that. KJ Martin had a good game, so I'm not trashing him at all. I think he played a good role. He had some really good points in the game, but I just think at the end, I would have preferred Ricky Council's offensive game to KJ's offensive game when we struggled to score against the zone. It is what it is. It is what it is. I thought Tyrese Maxey was getting to the mid-range jumper a lot more in this game than he has been recently, and that's nice. I think him and Nick Nurse probably go in the film room and he probably says, "Hey man, let's get some mid-range jumpers out here. You're lethal from three. You're lethal going to the rim. If you get a consistent mid-range, you're going to be unstoppable." So I like that about Tyrese Maxey. Paul Reed was playing hard the first quarter, all over the place, grabbing boards, diving for loose balls. And then just the fourth quarter, all the rebounding just disappeared. It just went away. It just went away. The Sixers in the first half gave up so many backdoor cuts to this Miami Heat team. Wide open threes, too, to Duncan Robinson, left and right. Duncan Robinson's not going to miss a wide open three. We didn't play great deep. The fact this was a 5-point game is actually pretty shocking when you really watched how bad some of the defense was in this game. So many backdoor cuts, so many miscommunications on defense, and left a lot of guys open. But we were keeping up with them on the other end. I think it was 60-60 at halftime. So a little bit of a shootout. Came up short because of lack of size. Let's look at the second half, man. Let's see. Maxey gets stepped on by Paul Reed. Yeah. So that, I don't know if that affected Maxey. I'm sure he's going to talk about it. I'm sure they're going to ask him about it in a post game or something like that. But Maxey running for a loose ball. Paul Reed just kind of accidentally steps on the side of his foot, kind of bends his ankle in the wrong way. He goes to the locker room. He gets the Patrick Mahomes steroid shot in the ankle. Wraps it up, comes back out. I don't know if that affected his game. I'm sure they're going to ask him if it hurts in his post-game press conference, and we'll hear about it. I don't know. Maybe he misses a game or two with a sore ankle. Who knows? When the ankle bends the wrong way like that, it's always weird, and it really hurts on the inside of your ankle. It's happened to me before. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of you guys before. As soon as Maxey went out with that ankle, that slight ankle tweak, Miami went on an 11-2 run. And again, in the third quarter, when Miami was on that 11-2 run, who stopped the run? Ricky Council. I'm frustrated that he wasn't in at the end of the game. He stopped an 11-2 run by Miami, stopped the bleeding, and then he hits a pull-up three down by 2 in the third quarter to put the Sixers up 1. Ricky Council's here. Ricky Council's a legit NBA player. Ricky Council's a legit rotational player right now. Tobias Harris is going to come back, and he's going to play over Ricky Council, and he's going to play over KJ Martin. And it's going to be frustrating when Ricky Council loses his minutes, because Ricky Council is a legit NBA player right now. And in that third quarter, when you're down by 2, and they just went on an 11-2 run, I think the Sixers were up 95 to 87 or something. It was a 7-0 run, but it was part of an 11-2 run, and suddenly they were down by 2, and Ricky Council just dribbles into a pull-up three. Doesn't even really look like a good shooter. He kind of shoots it like Joakim Noah with 2 hands, but he hits it. Had a couple nice mid-rangers and stuff, but I thought that was a really big shot for Ricky Council. And then the fourth quarter, the Heat go on another run. Buddy Hield really started to get shut down in the second half against that zone, and just the Miami, Eric Spoelstra said, "Hey, man, listen, we're not going to let Buddy Hield kill us the whole second half. We're going to start to double him and Maxey and live with the results, make somebody else beat us." Just ended up being, Kelly Oubre and KJ Martin out there for most of it, and they didn't make him pay. Raheem, thank you for the super chat. The game changed when Tyrese twisted his ankle in the third. Absolutely. It absolutely did. That Miami went on an 11-2 run when Tyrese Maxey went to the locker room. And Maxey and Hield together is going to be hard for a lot of NBA teams to stop because they can both shoot, they can both drive, they can both finish at the rim. They're both really, really, really good at a lot of things. But when Maxey went out, now you can just double team Buddy Hield and he has to get rid of the ball and make somebody else beat you. Mr. Rudy, why are we doubling Bam on the post with Reed on him? Bam is an inconsistent fade shooter. Why are we doubling? He's not a threat one-on-one. I don't know. Are you talking about what were they doubling him and then he's kicking it out for three or what? There's a lot of defensive mistakes by the Sixers in this game. The fact that it was a 5-point game, again, is pretty crazy because I saw a ton of defensive miscommunications, backdoor cuts, odd double teams, leaving guys like Hero and Duncan wide open, and then the inability to get a rebound at the end of the game was also very frustrating. Down 6 with 5 minutes left. KJ Martin gets called for a basket interference, and we actually win the challenge. That was crazy because I feel like NBA officials hate us and we never win challenges. So shout out to that. Let's see. How many offensive rebounds were there at the end of that fourth quarter that killed us, really? Miami Heat offensive rebound with 1:13 left. And the game was almost over. KJ Martin forces a turnover. Maxey gets a floater. Bam gets called for a goaltend. I think that brought us within like 3. And then another offensive rebound, Jaime Jaquez, because Maxey didn't box him out. He was double teaming, like you said on this comment right here, Bam Adebayo. The last one was so frustrating because you needed a stop and you get dipshit Tyler Hero shooting a long 2-pointer with 10 seconds on the shot clock with 17 seconds left in the game. Pretty much the worst shot the Miami Heat could put up in that situation. I mean, you're supposed to run the clock out and try to take a shot with nothing, 5 left on the clock or something. Tyler Hero shoots a long 2 with 10 seconds on the clock. Exactly what you would love in that situation. And Bam Adebayo gets an offensive board. What can you do? Sixers lose, but I liked a lot of the game. I liked the offensive effort from a lot of players. The defense was bad a lot at times, but what can you do? I also thought Payne played his worst game as a Sixer. He forced too many threes. He could have put the ball on the floor against Duncan and Hero, who are horrible defenders. Yeah, there was a lot of, that's why they went to zone. Because that eliminates a lot of the screen game, a lot of the screening and switching, a lot of the screening and switching to target specific players. We definitely probably had a plan to target Tyler Hero, target Duncan Robinson with Buddy Hield and Maxey. This post game could be 5 minutes long. It could be the Sixers were cooking and looked like they could win the game. Miami went to a 3-2 zone. The Sixers couldn't do anything with the 3-2 zone. Sixers lose. You know what I mean? That's kind of pretty much it, man. I'll look at the stat sheet right here. Hit me up in the chat. Give me your takes. Give me your hot takes. Throw some questions in there. Throw some comments. Give me your opinion on anything that happened in the game. I wish we would have pulled this one out, man. I just wish we would have pulled this one out, man. I really thought the Sixers could win this game. Tyler Hero had 23, 7, 10 for 23. Duncan Robinson was 5 for 7 from 3. I mean, he's just gonna, when you're leaving him wide open from 3, he's not gonna miss. He's just not going to. Jovic only had 3 points, so I guess we did a good job against him. Off the bench, Hayward Highsmith with 16, 4 for 10 from 3. That hurts. And Jaime Jaquez with 12 points and 9 boards, and one of the boards is a Big time offensive rebound, putback slam. Tyrese drops 30 on 12 of 23, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He had 20 points with about 10 minutes left in the third quarter. You can't be mad at a 30-point game from Tyrese Maxey. And if maybe the game changed when he tweaked his ankle, when Paul Reed stepped on his foot, because when he went out in that third quarter, the Heat went on an 11-2 run. And, that's what happened. Paul Reed gives you 18 and 12. 22 from Hield. Yeah, the bench scoring. Look at the bench scoring. Ricky Council, 13. Ricky Council, 13 points in 23 minutes off the bench. And, they lost this game, but I'm loving what I'm seeing from Ricky Council, man. And you get another really, really good performance from Ricky Council off the bench. I'm loving what it looks like. Peter, my dude. Love the look of the team with Maxey and Council both in. High energy and constantly looking for a shot. The last loss rebounded. Martin looked lost. He was there. Yeah, he looked like he didn't see the ball or something, He looked like he didn't see the ball. I'm loving what Ricky Council's looking like. And Ricky Council and Kelly Oubre. I was actually just about to shout out Kelly Oubre for how insanely just aggressive he is. And I like him. And there's some Kelly Oubre slander in the chat. I'm sick of watching Oubre, to be honest. Kelly Oubre is a player that you need. You need him. The Sixers need him. When you look at the team and you see guys like Kelly Oubre and Ricky Council on the floor together just flying around. The thing that I love about Kelly Oubre and Ricky Council is that they attack the defense violently. They go at the defender at the rim like this guy's either going to knock me on my ass or I'm putting the ball in the hoop. I love that aggression. I love that fire. I just love that from those guys. Kelly Oubre, we call him in the playback stream, Kelly, the possession ends here, Oubre. It's just something you live with Kelly Oubre. He's going to give you aggression. He's going to give you athleticism. He's going to try to dunk on somebody's face. He had a huge block in this game, and the incomplete pass celebration or the cancel celebration, whatever the celebration is. I love it. I love his energy. I love the fire that he plays with. But a player like that's you're gonna live with the negatives. I see Kelly Oubre do these things that you're talking about, where you say that you're sick of watching Kelly Oubre play, and I just kind of laugh it off because it's just Kelly Oubre. It's what he does. Possession ends here. Soon as he touches the ball, possession over, bro. I'm either shooting it, I'm either driving into triple team in the paint, getting called for a charge, or I'm dunking on somebody's face. There is no other thought process with Kelly Oubre when he touches the ball. The possession ends here. I'm going to do something. And that can help you out a lot in situations where guys are getting shut down, guys are cooling off, guys are struggling, and you need somebody to create something. And, you get it. You see these games where Maxey looks unsure of himself sometimes. Maybe Tobias Harris, when he's on the floor in some of these games, looks unsure of himself sometimes. Kelly Oubre, never looks unsure. The guy is absolutely sure of himself 100% of the time. He's going to take the ball, and he's going to try to do things. It's not always going to work. A lot of times he's going to force into double and triples, and you're going to be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? That's Kelly Oubre. I love it. I love what Kelly Oubre brings, and I'm willing to live with the negatives that Kelly Oubre brings also because I just love the guy's attitude. I can't say anything negative about him. I can't. I love his attitude. I love his energy. I love the way he plays the game, and I think the Sixers need more players like Kelly Oubre. He's an absolute dog. Put 5 guys in front of this dude. He's going straight at the rim. I'm dunking on everybody, or I'm getting called for a charge, or somebody's blocking my shot. I just love the relentlessness of him. Because there's a lot of players on this team over a lot of years that were just shy away from the smoke. They don't want the smoke. Not going to say his name because we're trying to not make every single episode a Walmart Mellow bashing fest. But he'll be back soon. Don't worry. He'll be back soon. We'll be getting some fadeaway airball layups and some 20-second back downs into turnaround fadeaways. I'm not that mad about the loss, though. I saw some good things, saw some really bad things. What can you do? But I definitely would have had Ricky Council in at the end of that game over KJ Martin. And I loved KJ Martin in this game. And I talked a lot of trash on KJ Martin and how trash he is at basketball. But I think Nick Nurse is somebody said credit Nick Nurse for sticking with him and continuing to give him a chance and using him in different lineups and trying to get the most out of him. And I agree with that. I think shout out to Nick Nurse for sticking with KJ Martin and trying to use him different ways and trying to get the most out of him. He looked good in this game. We'll see if that keeps up. I just think too much KJ Martin is you're going to end up seeing, he's not good. But a great athletic guy who can do some things. That's pretty much all I got on it, man. 10 assists from Hield. Shout out to that. That is awesome, man. Again, Buddy Hield's so much more of a combo guy than anybody thought. He's so much more of a playmaker than anybody thought. 22 points and 10 assists. I mean, those are point guard numbers, And nobody ever really considers Buddy Hield a point guard or a facilitator or ever talks about him like that. So I like that, man. It's great to have another playmaker next to Tyrese Maxey. And if we get Joel Embiid back at some point, maybe things look better. Maybe things look really good. I do think, again, the biggest problem reared its ugly head in crunch time, and that is size at the center position. Daryl Morey didn't go after... I guess he went after Andre Drummond, that's what they say. I don't think he did. Or the Bulls asked for a first-round pick or something. There's not really any other options at backup center. That's what sucks because, how do other teams get these guys? I feel like every team has a backup center who's 7 feet tall, 250, big body, and can bang in the paint. And we got Paul Reed, love his energy, but he's just too small to really match up with, NBA centers who are high-level rebounders, athletic NBA centers like Bam Adebayo's, and Mo Bamba's just trash. I mean, what can we really say about Mo Bamba? You know what I mean? What we got in the chat, man? Who's better that was available in the buyout market? No people. Zero people. 0 players on the buyout market. Robin Lopez. Who's on the buyout market? Nobody's on the buyout market. Nobody. Pablo. Might as well sign LeBron in 2 years from now. Are you guys arguing in the chat or what? Are you arguing with me? What are we talking about? Lowry washed already out the door. Why waste your time? All right, Pablo's kind of popping off in the chat here. He's pretty passionate about what he's talking about. Let's read it. Everyone swears Lowry is good. Lowry already has proven he's already washed. Watch, then everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon talking about get rid of Lowry. I mean, I don't think anybody who has a brain and knows ball isn't expecting Kyle Lowry to be a 25 point per game all-star level point guard. Nobody's saying that. All you really want is Kyle Lowry to give you a veteran ball handler, ball security type of player off of the bench. I don't know. I have a little bit of a feeling that Nick Nurse might want him in the starting lineup. He might want him on the floor in crunch time. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I don't think we can really complain about anything until we see, what it looks like and how it happens. But I like Kyle Lowry in healthy in like 15, 20 minutes, And it's a buyout. It's not like you gave up something for him. How could it hurt is what I'm saying. How could Kyle Lowry hurt off the bench, In games like this specifically, you could look at this game specifically and say Tyrese Maxey went out, in the third quarter with the ankle, right? And the Heat go zone. If you have Kyle Lowry out there handling the ball, do we have more success against the zone right there without Tyrese Maxey when Miami went on an 11-2 run? Maybe we do. Maybe the experience of Kyle Lowry would have helped us against the zone when we were lacking creation on the perimeter. I just can't talk negatively about it until I see it. That's all I'm saying. What else we got? My original question was why everyone wanted Lowry so bad. Did people want him that bad? Like, are people out here like, whoa, we got to sign Kyle Lowry. That'll save the season and take us to the promised land. I mean, if people were talking about it like that, then I agree with you. If people were talking about it like that, then I agree with you. But Kyle Lowry was pretty good in the playoffs last year for Miami when he was healthy. And I just think that's all you're really looking at. He can give you 15. He can give you 15 off the bench and an experienced playoff point guard. I don't see how that can hurt in a buyout. But if people were talking about like Kyle Lowry's going to save you or take you to the promised land, then, maybe you're right. Lowry knows that Miami zone. He would have helped. I think so. I think he might have. Y'all want Sixers to win every freaking game. SMH. Yeah, I mean, do we? Do we want the Sixers to go 82-0? Fuck yeah, we do. Absolutely we do. I want nothing more in life than for the Sixers to never lose another game as long as I'm on this earth. But, Gracie, are you just talking about the fact that we get up here and break down the game after they lose and talk about why they lost and what we think went wrong? I mean, if what you're saying is the case, then when the Sixers lose, I shouldn't even talk about it. I should just say Sixers lost, see you tomorrow, and only cover wins, and that would be what? Fraudulent behavior. You guessed it. You're talking about Pablo, talking about Lowry. We'll see, man. We'll see what Lowry looks like. Again, I can't have a negative take on it until I see it. It's just cool because Lowry's from the city and might actually be useful for our team. Exactly. We'll see. If he's trash and he has nothing left, you let him go. Unless you have a fear that Nick Nurse is going to play him a lot because Nick Nurse loves him. And if you get into situations where Kyle Lowry's playing like garbage and he's still out there, and when you have, maybe campaign is a DNP coach's decision, if something like that happens, then we'll be talking about, okay, Nick Nurse's love for Kyle Lowry is getting a little bit annoying. But again, I can't really talk about it until I see it, We'll see. I don't get Doc Rivers vibes from Nick Nurse. That's something Doc Rivers would do. Keep his favorite player out there when he's playing like garbage over players who are a better option. I do think Nick Nurse has a little bit of a KJ Martin obsession in this situation we're in right now. It's taken him a while to accept the fact that Ricky Council is an NBA player. I was saying 2 weeks ago Ricky Council should be in the rotation. I think Ricky Council gives you something that the Sixers are desperately missing. A big body wing who can combo, who has dribble skills, who can get to the rim, who can finish right, finish left, attack the defense. And, it took him a while to accept the fact, like, okay, I'm going to start playing this dude. Now he's playing him, and still you come down to the fourth quarter crunch time. He was the one in the third quarter that was succeeding at breaking the zone a little bit and giving you a creation when you really needed it. and then you don't bring him in at the end of the fourth. You leave KJ Martin out there. We'll see. We'll see if it continues, but I don't like that decision, you know. Mr. Rudy, I'm not banking on Joel coming back, but best believe teams would be trying to maneuver themselves to avoid the 76ers first round. You're saying if Joel's coming back, teams will be trying to maneuver themselves to avoid the Sixers in the first round? What do you mean maneuver themselves? You mean like Boston, say the Sixers are 8th seed and Boston's going to like purposely start losing to try to play the 7th seed instead of the 8th seed or something like that? Well, there would be a play-in tournament anyway if they fall to 7. If they fall to 6, they're looking at the Knicks right now, maybe the Bucks. I don't know. But if they fall to 6 or 7 and they get Embiid back and Embiid's 90%, 85%, the Sixers are definitely a threat to upset someone in the first round. I agree with you on that. If he doesn't come back at all, I don't know. If he doesn't come back at all, then season's done anyway. Imagine the storyline of Sixers somehow get past the first round. Then Embiid comes back and leads a finals push. We then beat fraudulent James Harden Clippers. That would be a story. Storybook ending to the process, right? Process starts. Bad things happen for 7 straight years. Something good's bound to happen, right? No Embiid gentleman sweep round 1. Against Boston, probably. Gentleman sweep, you talking 4-1, right? Is that what a gentleman sweep is? Yeah, I agree with that. You don't think we'll fall past the 5th seed? I mean, the last game against the Cavs was magical. Can you sustain, that type of magic? I'm not sure. Let's look at the standings. Last game against the Cavs was like 2017 Philadelphia Eagles Nick Foles vibes, Like, this is not supposed to be happening. That's why it's fun. Buddy Hield, looks great so far. But the biggest issue is size and rebounding. Sixers in the 5th seed right now. They are 2 games ahead of Indiana. And our schedule is not looking too nice, guys. You don't think we'll fall past... What did you say? I don't think we'll fall past the 5 seed. We're in the 5th seed right now. Indiana's right here. And Indiana's been out. Tyrese Halliburton was out for a couple games, or I don't remember. They made the Siakam trade a couple weeks ago. 2 games ahead of Indiana. Only 2.5 ahead of Miami. I think we'll be in the play-in tournament, guys. I do think that. I don't think we're holding on to that 5th seed. I think Indiana's definitely taking the 5th seed. I think it might be Miami in the 6th seed. And we are play-in tournament Philadelphia 76ers. Damn. Who would have thought we would be here right now? Who would have thought we'd be sitting here on February 14th talking about the Sixers possibly being in the play-in tournament? Take me back to a couple weeks ago when Joel Embiid was dropping 70 points on the San Antonio Spurs, and it was looking like we were going to battle for the top 3 seed in the East. And here we are because of another torn meniscus from Joel Embiid. At least Joel didn't get injured during the playoffs this time. At least he got injured early. At least he maybe got it out of the way. We're going to be 4 or 5. We will be fine after everyone comes back. Gracie, this is an interesting take because when's everyone coming back? You need everyone to come. I mean, yeah, sure, if everyone comes back. You mean everyone like Joel? Is that what you mean? Doesn't feel like anyone's coming back. Feels like DeAnthony Melton has a back issue. Feels like Robert Covington's going to retire. He's been out since November with a knee issue. We're getting no information on Joel Embiid's return. Nicholas Batum is 35 years old and continues to have a hamstring here and a whatever else, dislocated finger and a whatever else. It's not looking like these players are coming back anytime soon. We'll see. Too much panic. Melton and Batum will be back after the All-Star break. I hope you're right, but how effective are Melton and Batum in a game without the gravity of Joel Embiid? Think about it. What we've seen from DeAnthony Melton, his whole tenure with the Sixers, has been with Joel Embiid. What we've seen from Nick Batum is because of the gravity of Joel Embiid and how perfectly he fits around Joel as a stretch four, quick trigger, very high IQ player, great high-low with Joel. We saw a game, I think, of Batum without Joel Embiid, and he had a goose egg. He struggles to score or be really effective without Joel on the floor. Gracie says, Batum, Melton, and Embiid, they will be well rested. I don't know how you feel like that about Joel Embiid. The Sixers have said nothing about when Joel Embiid's coming back. He had surgery. He had part of his meniscus removed. It's a little bit more than getting rest. We'll see, man. I hope you're right. I just want people to stop calling 33 minutes per game and no fourth quarter heavy minutes or riding Embiid into the dirt. I just want people to stop calling 33 minutes per game and no fourth quarter heavy minutes or riding Embiid into the dirt when it was opposite, and yes, he still got hurt. That's probably true, Vincent, that, I said Nick Nurse ran Joel Embiid into the ground. That was me. The live stream right after Joel Embiid got injured, I probably said a lot of things that I, number one, don't even remember saying. I remember putting a clip on Instagram and TikTok where I was very angry and yelling out, and I was like, damn, bro, I was that mad? I don't even remember what I said on that stream. I was pissed because I saw Joel Embiid struggling to jump, and they left him in the game. But the meniscus was probably already torn, so, he might have made it worse, though. If he wasn't left in that game, maybe they would have looked at it and said, we can repair it or whatever. Yeah, I do not recall. I don't recall. He got hurt anyway, though. You're right. We've tried everything with this guy's whole career. We've tried minutes restriction. We've tried load management. We've tried no load management. He just gets hurt no matter what. And it's because he's 7'2", 280 pounds, plays the game like a guard. His ankles and his knees are screaming for dear life every day. It's just always going to happen. He's always going to have an ankle, a foot, or a knee. And, I don't think he has many years left in his career. We'll see what he looks like when he comes back from this one. Hopefully we get some kind of update soon, but I think Joel Embiid's career window is really 3 years. I really do. If he could stay healthy, he could play for a long time, even as his athleticism declines, because he has so much skill. He could turn into a Tim Duncan type of player, back to the basket, turnaround jumpers off the glass. But I just think he gets, he's just had so many injuries. I've said if he stays healthy. If you're a betting man, you're betting on him being hurt 7 out of 8 years. So there's that. Have we tried low management? Someone needs to tell him to stop falling on the damn ground. fast. I get kind of confused when people say this. When people say Joel Embiid needs to stop falling on the ground. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful by any means when I say this. But if you're prone to ligament injury, knee injury, ankle injury, whatever, he had a torn ligament in his thumb the 1 year. If you're in the air and you weigh 280 pounds and you're coming down to the ground, how are you more likely to get injured? By trying to brace yourself and land, putting all the pressure on your knees and your ankles of 280 pounds coming down to the floor, or falling on the ground? Falling on the ground is actually, I believe, what they've trained Joel Embiid to do to stop himself from trying to brace himself from falling, because that's how you tear ligaments and injure your knees and your ankles, is trying to land all the time. I think if you watch him, he lands on his feet and he falls over immediately. I really think Joel Embiid has been trained to fall over, to not put all types of pressure on his knees when he lands. I'm being serious. I don't think he gets hurt from falling on the ground. Anyway, yeah. That's what I think. I don't think he gets hurt from falling on the ground. I think he falls over to because if you're coming down awkwardly and you try to plant, boom, dude, sprained knee, boom, torn ACL. You know what I mean? Stop, drop, and roll. I think that's what he does. But anyway, yeah. Sixers lose. Does it matter? Not really. Do we care? Not really. We'll see what the next game looks like, man. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Ricky Council should have been in at the end of this game. Last time, Ricky Council should have been in at the end of this game. Nick Nurse, it's time to accept that Ricky Council is a real NBA role player. Give him the minutes. I'm out.